Hey everybody, welcome back to our Pokemon analysis guides here. We get some good feedback, so I really appreciate that, especially some Pokemon people want to see, which is great, especially since I have those Pokemon lined up. I have like some stuff lined up already, but you guys giving me feedback lets me know like what to do next and such. So, got a couple requests for Politoed, which is great because I was actually considering doing that next anyways. So that just like confirmed that that's what I'm doing next. So here we go. Let's get into Politoed. So Politoed is a pretty major staple in VGC. It's been around ever since it got the hidden ability Drizzle, which for those that don't know, let me actually pull up. There we go. So those that don't know, that summons the rain on switching, which is very good. Weather is very good. And we know like we have Pelipper already. But Politoed is much better at being a defensive support Pokemon. Pelipper is better more offensively because I don't know, it's just not as good. It just doesn't have the same move pool other than Tailwind, it feels like. But yeah, Politoed, however, has a very good support move pool, and we'll get to that in a second. So yeah, Pure Water type, which I also think Pure Water is really good. It has only two weaknesses: Grass and Electric. Shininess level, I like them both. I can't really choose between the blue and purple and the green and yellow. They're both pretty good. I think I've used both in the past. So, but I've said I am a fan of like dark colors or blue and such. So I do really like shiny Politoed, but I'm okay with this too. So, yeah, we'll just we'll roll with regular for today. But yeah, try out shiny. I think it looks good. It'll definitely give you more, what is it? Good look points, I guess. Style points, that's what I'm looking for. It'll give you good style points in game. So, yeah, try shiny. Okay, anyway, so Politoed, we see stats. So they're not like incredible, but it does have pretty solid bulk. Like, so with the 90 HP, 100 special defense, that's pretty solid special bulk. Defense is a little lacking, but you can mitigate that. And obviously, when the defense is low, you know, you can just put Intimidators on the team too. So, Intimidate support really helps a lot. 70 speed, a little faster than some other stuff. Some important stuff too, like Incineroar. So that makes it really nice. It also kind of makes it nice that if you have Tailwind on the team, you'll outspeed base 110s in Tailwind just by default, which that's usually something I like to hit with when I have run Tailwind is outspeeding those base 110s, especially in this upcoming series where we have things like Terrakion and Virizion and Durant. I bet Durant will start to pick up usage again in response to Terrakion. I'm gonna do a video on Terrakion pretty soon because that's gonna be a big thing, from what I understand from some people. So, and I believe it. Like, yeah, we'll get to that. So anyway, so pretty solid bulk. Kind of go over its moves a little bit. It's got a lot of support moves is what I really like to focus on. I didn't know it got Earth Power. That might be new. I don't think that's very useful, but note that. So let's see. Encore. Encore is a big one. Haze can be a good move, which I actually didn't know it got Haze. So I always like to double check with things. But I think Haze was a egg move when I looked earlier. Yeah, so Haze is always a good move. So if you need like a Hazer, I feel like that's new on Politoed, which gives it more like usefulness. It really does. Parasong, we'll get to that. Good, really good move. Scald's typically its standard attacking move. It doesn't get toxic anymore. I don't know if that's there on VGC, but Belly Drum sets if you want to be really cheeky. I don't recommend it. Let's see, Helping Hand, very good VGC move. It gets Muddy Water now, so that might be worth running on like an offensive set if we do that. So yeah, but yeah, it's got some pretty useful. Oh, Icy Wind as well, and Hypnosis. So some pretty useful support moves. Attacking move wise, yeah, it's pretty typical water type coverage. You got some weird ones in like Psychic, Earth Power, that could be useful for running like an offensive set or trying to run an offensive set, because 90 special attack's not bad if you invest in it, but I think Politoed's bread and butter is in the defensive set. But that being said, let's look at the first set. This one's definitely more historical because I think some of this might be a little more outdated with Dynamax and such, but it's still worth noting. So, especially in 2014, Scarf Politoed was pretty common from my understanding. I didn't start playing till the end of 2015, but I have at least seen some old stuff from 2014. So, but Scarf Toad was also used in 2015 as well. So, and even 2018, I think, if I remember right. But so Scarf Toad's pretty nice because it allowed it to outspeed base 200s. I believe right. Let me double check that. But I think you 134 with like a +1. Yeah, it lets you outspeed base 1. So I like outspeed Top Coco by 1, which sometimes was useful. So yeah, you'd run Scarf, and it really would catch off guard things like Mega Salamence and Landorus, things that are really weak to ice or just water in general. And so that's what made that really, really nice. And then another big thing about Scarf, this one's not super relevant now. Maybe there would be a place for it, seeing how things develop. But when Mega Charizard was in the format, people would want to would still lead Politoed into Charizard. And they'd want to bait Charizard to Dynamax to get rid of to Mega Evolve to get rid of the rain, because then its ability to Drought activates, which is the Sun version of Drizzle, for those that aren't aware. But it activates that, and then with that Scarf, that makes you faster than Charizard, and then you Rain Dance, and now hopefully you're hoping they lock into Solar Beam, and then they're in trouble. So that was a cheeky way to get around that, and so Rain Dance on Scarf became common for that, basically for that reason. So Ice Beam, and then like powerful Hydro Pump, and then Scald as a more accurate option. If Scarf were to be run today, I think Muddy Water is worth considering, having that spread move. Like I said, Politoed's damage output's not phenomenal, but if you need that like that faster water type for whatever reason, I should note that this will not outspeed Dragapult. Like, I don't even think it outspeeds a non-boosting nature Dragapult. So don't think you can just Scarf it and outspeed it and hit it with like an Ice Beam or something. Or if you're running Scarf, you could try running like a fast Hypnosis, maybe a fast Icy Wind. With the way the speed mechanics work now, in fact, that I could potentially see that, like a fast Icy Wind to slow down something if you don't have like a Rain Setter next to it, or not a Rain Setter, a Swift Swim user. So I could see like fast Icy Wind being doable. But yeah, otherwise I don't see Scarf being too prevalent in this format like it has in previous formats. So, but I just wanted to note that it was definitely a thing, and it had a very important place in the meta. So that being said, I kind of want to move on more to where Politoed shines in its defensive sets, and what sets it apart from Pokemon like Pelipper especially. So this was a set I pulled from my Pokemon home, that Politoed that I used in the past. I think it was shiny. It might have been shiny. Let's make it shiny, so we can look at the gloriousness. Shiny Politoed. So yeah, this was like kind of a support set I used, I think, on a rain team. I think it was like a Seismitoad team that I stole. So, but anyways, so it emphasizes more. It did take advantage more of its special bulk, so it just went ahead with the Calm Nature to boost that a lot. And then it had Intimidate support to help mitigate that. You know what, too? I'll get into when I get to teammates. But having I'll get into when I get to teammates. So, why this could be... Yeah, okay. Moving on. Sorry. So yeah, just maximize its HP, give a little bit special defense. This number just hits that point where it gets 2 points. So if you look, if I drop, usually it's going up by 1, but then right there it goes up by 2. So I like to try and hit that number if I'm really close, just to try and capitalize on EVs. That's also why I put these 4s in rather than do this. Oops. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, rather than do that, because I don't know, in my mind I like getting more overall stat points, because if I just do the 8 there, I get 1 more stat point, or if I take that 1 out, put them there. Although I guess maybe it doesn't really matter, because I'm getting 1 less. Oh no, yeah, it does matter. You're getting 1 more point, because like instead of just the 1 there, you're getting 2 here. So that's just my mentality. So anyways, but Scald was just its basic damaging move. Go for burns, get a little damage. The Drizzle, that's another thing. Like, yeah, its attack's not huge, but with the rain up, that boosts this. So on a Scarf set, that also could make it a little more powerful. So it's probably a good thing, you know, like it's not base 150 in the rain with Water Spout. I mean, get ready for that when that comes back. Whew. Especially now with Tailwind working the way it does. So, but yeah, the rain at least helps mitigate its damage, so it doesn't really need that. Icy Wind was what I was using just as a general support move. Helping Hand was really good for using my like Waterium Z Ludicolo or something and just blowing up anything, like, or just like, yeah, that allowed me to just destroy Charizard in the sun even with like Ludicolo. So and like I said, a couple more, there's other options you can run on a bulkier set, like Encore is popular. So but yeah, that's kind of a general, just like a general set that I used. Talking about kind of what you could do, I want to try out Perish Song Politoed, because you guys know I've been using Perish Song if you've been watching some of my stream or maybe like some past videos where I was using my Perish Trap team. Perish Trap-ish team is what I call it. So I really want to try Politoed just because it's a little more overall bulk than Primarina, and just, I don't know, a little more supportive. Although it does have a lot of the same moves as Primarina, but it does have less weaknesses. So with the EV spread here, I was just thinking like really general bulk, or like really max out the physical bulk, or I could even just go like Calm with only 4, and you can see that makes it pretty even. It's just like as much general bulk as I could think of, so that's an option to consider. Defensive EV spreads are kind of tough. I can't really give you like the best spread because it's usually gonna depend on the team composition, and that's why practice is really important, and not just playing to play, but to like playing and analyzing, like, and learning certain things. Like if I find out, you know, there's one specific matchup I really need Politoed to like take a hit better, and that requires me to run this bold nature, you know, so be it. Or if I want to run a Wakan Berry, or if I find out, oh, maybe I need the Rindo Berry or something, and that's what I was thinking with like a really bulky set, is maybe Rindo or Wakan, and then if you don't need it, you can run Citrus, or you can run like a Pinch Berry, like Wiki. So there's a number of options, which is pretty nice. Pretty nice to have. So leftovers even, maybe Mental Herb if you really don't want to get taunted. So that's the thing with defensive sets. I can tell you guys kind of some of the stuff they can do, and some good EVs, some general EV spreads, but practice, and a lot of times it's not a bad idea to just start with something like this. Like I would probably start with this, and maybe even try, I usually will actually default to Pinch Berries and then change to something else. Like if I find out I really need the Wakan Berry because, you know, there's this electric coverage move that's destroying me, or I want the Rindo Berry so Charizard doesn't just destroy me on the lead, like as a lead, so with like max overgrowth. And yeah, there's a lot of max overgrowth running around too, I'm pretty sure. So those are a couple options, and this would be like for me using a Perish Song team, so I'd be trying to tailor it to that. You could also just run like a general support set, like Encore or Haze. I could see Haze being good, especially with a lot of like weakness policy stuff running around. Let's see, let's get down into here, and I think I do Helping Hand, obviously. I think Hypnosis is worth considering. If you don't have like any need for any other move, Hypnosis is not a bad option. Just don't rely on it. It's really good at just like throwing out there and seeing what happens. Icy Wind's really good. Yeah, so it's got some good options. So, but the primary thing that where Politoed really, there's two really good reasons to use Politoed over some other defensive Pokemon. And one is it creates a really good offensive mode with a Swift Swim user, and then two, it also can be very good like defensively for some of your other Pokemon that have fire weaknesses. And then you can also use it with like Pokemon that want to run Thunder, which is kind of neat. Some people did that with Tapu Koko and Politoed. So let's see. Yeah, so you can try out some of these different moves. Like I said, it's going to depend on the team, so it's hard to give a specific set, and I wanted to emphasize these kind of historical sets that I've used or seen used. Yeah, and I think the fast Icy Wind option is kind of neat with this. And then again, like the Hydro Pump in the rain off this is still pretty strong. Like this is about what Tapu Koko was. I think Tapu Koko was like 95. But then the Electric Train made it really strong, so that's worth considering. The Scarf with the Hydro Pump or Muddy Water, it could do some pretty decent damage, especially fast damage. So I don't want to discount Scarf Toad, but I think it's definitely worth looking into. And then Bulky, yeah. So anyways, let's get into partners, teammates. I think so. Ludicolo is definitely a Pokemon to use with it, and we've seen Ludicolo already in this format. But I really want to talk about Kingdra. Kingdra is just been added to the format, and this will probably be partly Kingdra's video as well. But I'll try and run through this quickly. So Kingdra, Dragon Water, really good defensive typing. Only has 2 weaknesses in Fairy and Dragon, which I find to actually be really nice. And the Dragon types you can probably just outspeed and knock out, which is really, I want to emphasize that because you can run Timid or Modest. If there's a lot of other Kingdra running around, I can see Timid being a good idea just to speed tie those other ones. But I do want to note something right here is that Kingdra with a Life Orb and a Modest nature can OHKO the Dynamaxed Dragapult, and in the rain it'll be faster than Dragapult. So it's one of the. I feel like it's going to be one of the few options that's not only faster than Dragapult, but threatens the OHKO even when it's Dynamaxed. I take that back. Well, I mean, Draco will almost get it, but Max Wormwind is what I'm saying. Life Orb Max Wormwind gets it. And if you run Timid, it has a really good chance, but it's not guaranteed. But I wanted to note that, like, that I think that's what makes Kingdra really interesting to me, is if we got something that really threatens, that can really threaten a Pokemon like Dragapult. So, and then Muddy Water I think would be an ideal water move. If you want more accuracy, Scald is a good option, or more power, you can run Hydro Pump. Muddy Water is just good spread damage. There's also Dragon Pulse, which Max Wormwind should still get that KO. Ice Beam is typically the other move, but I was looking through its other stuff. You have Disable, which is kind of cool. It could pair really cool with Politoed, Encore Disable combo, and I've seen that ran before. You also run physical sets with Dragon Dance. I've seen that even with the rain, or just straight Dragon Dancing sets, which could be cool because it also gets Sniper and Focus Energy. So if you run like Scope Lens, Sniper, Focus Energy, Dragon Dance or something, you could try to get away with that. You probably don't even need Dragon Dance at that point either. The cool thing about Sniper, Scope Lens, Focus Energy is once you have that guaranteed crit, you can just fire Dracos and the stat drop doesn't matter at all, which is, I think, it's really neat. Anyway, some of the other stuff, Flip Turn, if you want to pivot, that's a new move that I really want to try out. I love pivot moves. There's one other, yeah, probably not skill shot. Yawn, yeah, you can run a fast Yawn with this, which is kind of neat, and we know Yawn has some utility in this format now. So you can get out, yeah, that'd be one cool thing if you wanted to. So we'll see. Ice Beam makes sense. Disable makes a lot of sense too. I think that's a cool move, especially with Encore. If you Encore one like the turn before and then disable the next turn. Granted, that's not going to matter against Dynamax Pokemon, but against maybe some more defensive Pokemon or passive Pokemon. So, but yeah, it's got some options. Even Flash Cannon. Actually, Flash Cannon is nice to hit the Fairy types, so that could be worth looking into. Yeah, Clear Smog to remove boosts if you really need that, but Politoed can run Haze. Alright, and then some other teammates. Like I said, one of the other things Politoed does really well is support Steel, specifically Steel types, but anything that's weak to Fire. So Grass types even. So like, you know, I think Rillaboom would be really good with Politoed, also giving it some health. Politoed more health, Grassy Surge, and Politoed removing this thing's fire weakness, which can be really good. What other grass types? Let's look at grass types first right now. Moongus, depending on the team. Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn's a really popular Pokemon. In fact, also one of the The most difficult things for rain teams to deal with, just like a Politoed Kingdra team, is Ferrothorn. Finding a way to deal with Ferrothorn is really important. Fighting type's usually the best. Incineroar is really good as well. Lurantis, I throw in a Lurantis. I think Lurantis is an interesting Pokemon. Like I said, Rillaboom, some other stuff here. Maybe Rotom. Yeah, just anything like weak to fire can really complement it. Politoed can complement anything weak to fire. Steel types are the ones that are, I think, really neat. Especially Scizor. Scizor's a really cool Pokemon to pair on rain teams. Because you take away its one, you have the damage of its one weakness, and it's such a good Pokemon with Technician. Because you get those bullet punches that are boosted, and it also can Swords Dance, which makes these really powerful, especially if you were to run Life Orb. But if not Life Orb, I don't know, you could even run Metal Coat. Why not? Really want that extra damage from that. So, but yeah, like I said, like it reduces that damage a lot, and then, which yeah, especially Scizor like has pretty good bulk, like 70, 100, and then special defense not as good, but like reducing that 4 times weakness to just a 2 times weakness can make a really big deal. So Scizor is a Pokemon you'll see on rain teams a lot, or Ferrothorn even. I think we already mentioned that. There's other steel types that I've seen work out, like Aegislash is one I've seen. Not so much Bisharp. Duraludon would be kind of cool, actually. I could see like just like giving it a fire resist. Technically a fire resist. Scavalier would be a good Pokemon on like Trick Room teams with the rain. The last thing I want to note is Durant. Durant's already seen some usage, and it's like Scizor, Bug Steel has one weakness, but that weakness is really devastating, especially on the special side. Now, the rain won't let Durant survive a ton of fire moves on the special side. It can, in the rain, it can survive like a Scarf Charizard Heat Wave, which is kind of nice. But it does let it survive a little bit more on the physical side with that. Not a ton, but I think that could help it. But also Durant can also help Politoed by running the max steel and then boosting perhaps this lower special defense stat. Now you have an even bulkier Politoed. So that's worth. I think Durant would be worth running. In fact, like I want to go back to my Parish team with Durant and try Politoed because I think that rain would be really helpful for it, especially like dealing with Incineroar, because the rain does let this thing survive Flare Blitzes from Incineroar and probably from attacks from Arcanine. Yeah, I think that's really cool. So anyways, hope that's helpful. There's Politoed. Keep giving me Pokemon you want to see. That's really helpful. Like I have stuff lined up of what I think will be good based on the history of their usage. And I do want to point out, I think Durant could be really useful dealing with Terrakion and Whimsicott combos. So that was I want to mention that. So which is why I kind of like the Politoed Durant idea. So anyways, like I said, more what you want to see. I'm gonna keep working on some of these. I'm making them really casual and simple, so I can just bust out a bunch of them before the series format changes. So yeah, alright guys, take it easy, have a great rest of your day, and I'll get you the next Pokemon tomorrow. Alright, later.